What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Twice Be Nice. I am Saquana, and this is another motivational chat. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Whoever's out there, welcome. Please go ahead and hit that like button as you come in. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and turn your notifications on so you know when we drop a new video or whenever we go live again. So today we're talking about what Goliath you need to face. And so I want you to come up here. I don't want to just be talking by myself. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link in the chat right quick. So just in case you feel like you're coming up here and joining me, please feel free to do so. Let's see. Okay, I just put the link in the chat, and please feel free to come up here and share your thoughts with me, or whatever you feel like sharing tonight on the topic, what Goliath you need to face. And so, as I mentioned last week, that we was going to do this topic, and one of the reasons, not reasons, but what was shared in church was sometimes we need to face the Goliaths in our life to let the Goliath know that we don't have, let the Goliath know that it don't have any power. And so that was the motivational chat that I want to have a conversation on tonight. So please feel free to join me. And if anybody out there know the story of David and Goliath, you know that Goliath is a giant, and in the title that you see going across the stream, I have a little g for Goliath because Goliath have no power in our life. And I hope you guys be able to face your Goliaths that's in your life, cast them and destroy them, and be able to go through life I'm not going to say easy, but better. So just a recap of the story of David Goliath in First Samuel chapter 17. All you Bible thumpers out there, you know the word. But to reiterate, just a summary, I ain't quoting word for word, but Israel and the Philistines was at going at battle, and the Philistine had Goliath on their side, and Goliath will taunt them, and it got them afraid because Goliath is big, is a giant over them. So that got them afraid. But only person that wasn't afraid to go at Goliath was David, and David was the youngest son of Jesse. So in the people eyes, David looked like a youth, and uh, Goliath, was saying stuff to David, and David, didn't have any fear. So he asked Saul, let me be the one to go up to Goliath. And so at first Saul, say you just a youth, but end up allowing him to go. And so with one slingshot and one rock, David sling his shot at Goliath, and it forced him down, and then he got on top of him and slew him. So the whole point of the story is that we're talking about tonight is what Goliath you need to face in your life, what giants you need to face in your life, and that you need to cast down or slay them so they don't arise again. But if they do arise, you know how to combat those Goliaths in your life. So again, welcome to the live. If you want to come up, please feel free to join me. I have dropped the link in the chat. If you can see it, I hope you can see it. But feel free to come up. And so one of the things that I had to look at in my own life, and I'm just going to take me as an example because no better person to do is to talk about your own life. So when I look at my own life, I know that there are some things in my life like I procrastinate. I'll sometimes start stuff and don't finish, or either I will uh, be fearful at things sometimes, or you know stuff like that. And I said to myself, Saquana, you your own Goliath. And I had to look at myself like, yeah, because all those things are characteristics of you that you have going on in your life, but they don't have any power over you because you can control that. And so when I look at myself, I say, yeah, I can control those things that's considered Goliath in me, that I can control and knock those things down so that they won't arise, or I can do better at those things. So one thing I want to say, I'm not gonna be here long. It might know me, I don't do long. So I just want to share this with you all. But one thing we was looking at in David's life is that he was bold, he was confident, and he was fearless. So whatever thing that's you facing in your life that's considered a Goliath, I want you to know that how to handle those things. And one of the things that David knew, he know who who he was. First of all, he know whose he was. He was a child of God, and he knew that God was with him always. And then he know who he was, and he walked in that confidence that he had, and he was fearless, and so he was able to slay Goliath with the confidence that he had that he know that he could do it. Okay, we got somebody coming to join us. Hello, Jakasi. Thank you for joining. You're on mute. If you could unmute or am unmuting you. Okay.
Yeah,
You here?
go. My bad.
Oh, hi. How you doing, Jakasi?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for joining me. So the topic is what Goliath you need to face in your life. So anything you want to share, feedback, or give any motivation to other people or anything like that?
Um, what I'm learning right now myself is, I guess, like when people either hurt my feelings or do something that I don't like. To
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you went out. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you now.
You hear me now? Okay. So
Yes.
what I'm learning right now is when people hurt me or people like do something I don't like to me, because I know I wouldn't do the same to them. I tend
Mm-hmm.
to, I guess, be angry with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it causes me to, I guess, put a grudge between them. And I
Mm-hmm.
drop the grudge. I may not be mad after a certain amount of time, but I
Mm-hmm.
my distance from people. So I'm learning to be a little bit more forgiving when it comes to things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
understand, maybe I guess their intentions weren't meant to be a certain way, but
Mm-hmm. So you
knowing
feel like you're the Goliath that's in your life that you facing or that you are addressing right now because you say you're learning how to deal with is holding grudges or
right.
forgiving.
But not necessarily holding the grudge, I would say being more forgiving because I'll tell somebody like I forgive you, but at the same time I really don't be forgiving them.
You just like still mad and just like brush it off just to get like to avoid the situation or avoid a conversation that you may have to have.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Or either if I feel like they don't understand where I'm coming from with the situation, I'll just be like, okay, you're not understanding me. So at this point, we don't even have to like, I don't know, we ain't gotta talk about it no more because you're not understanding where I'm coming from. But everybody's like,
I understand what you're
where
saying.
I'm coming from.
So what make you like just turn it off and be like, since you're understanding me, why you won't just like go ahead and deal with it now instead of waiting and hold a grudge and saying, "Hey, I forgive you," but you really don't. I guess you just said you was angry and feel like the anger um make you want to move on from the situation. I think
Yeah,
that's what you just
because if I'm explaining to you how I feel and you still not understanding what I'm saying, it's
said.
like you're never going to get it. So it's just no point of talking about it no more.
I get it. I get it. But I'm glad that you see what Goliath in your life that you're facing and that you are addressing and trying to do better with that. Because a lot of people, hold grudges and don't get over something. So they're just lingering on. And then sometimes, if you linger on that grudge, and you could just blow up at any time in your life or at anybody or any situation. And it'd be like really no for no reason, but you hold this anger in for so long it just caused you just to act that way. So I'm glad that you are addressing that Goliath in your life and that you're bringing it down. Stuff takes time to deal with and combat, but the point is you working at it and you striving to reach the goal that you want to have
Right.
in your life. So that's good. I thank you for joining me. That is so awesome that um
Thank you for letting me join.
it, Oh, you're welcome. Any motivation you have that to give to other people that may be like facing the same thing that you're facing? Like any advice? Like what made you say, "Hey, I don't want to deal with this Goliath anymore," and start to address it.
Because like you said, it kind of does take a part to where it weighs down on you. Because if you're not addressing the situation, you're thinking about it. So if you keep thinking
Mhm,
about it, okay. And I know, like sometimes I have reacted to things like in the spare moment, and
mhm.
the
Oh,
way I
you went out?
the things I may have shouldn't have reacted that way. So I'm also,
Mhm.
also trying to be a little bit slower to anger, and also, my work choices and how I can say things back to people when they do say something I don't like or that I just feel like they shouldn't have said to me.
Right.
I think like when
That's
it comes to
good.
that, you have to just be a little bit slower to anger, and you also just have to be like, I guess, also try to put yourself in their shoes and see where they're coming from at the same time.
Mhm.
So, and it also comes with prayer, a lot of prayer,
Oh,
asking God,
most definitely.
yeah,
Most
asking God,
definitely.
show me how I should react to things, and know that everything doesn't need a reaction. That's also another thing. Everything doesn't need a reaction to people because some people are just ignorant like that. So
So true.
you just have to, it's a process. But
And I'm learning, as I read the story of David Goliath and reflecting back on that. And one of the things that was so appalling about David is he knew who he was, and he know whose he was. So he had that strength, that confidence that like whatever this is my own words, whatever I do, God got my back, you know. And so as we go through life, there are going to be many challenges, many Goliaths that's going to come and that we have to face. And we just face them, letting know Goliath, hey, you have no power over my life or no control over my life because in reality, you're small. You may be big in size, but you small to conquer because you know as I am, and of course, that's not how you is your belief in God. And so we have to learn that our belief system, our values are those things that help us combat those Goliath that may come in our lives.
yes, that's good. I like that.
Anything else that you want to share?
No, I think that's all. I think that's all I have on my
And
side.
one thing I also when okay, thank you. I was also wanted to share that one thing I wrote down here, that one thing that with David, when he's combating his Goliath, he knew his strength. So as to help us slay Goliaths in our life, you got to know your strengths, what things you're good at, what things you are strong at, and then you have to know your weakness. Like, hey, that's not for me. I know I'm not good in that area, or I know I'm not going to succeed in that. So let me back off because I know that ain't for me. And then you also have to what else I have? And uh, then you walk in the authority that God gave you to be able to slay those Goliaths. So thank you for joining me. I really, really appreciate it because this is like what I wanted. Just I didn't want to be the only one talking. I wanted feedback and share with other people. Them come up here, tell their stories, and be motivation to other people. So I really, really appreciate you coming up here and taking time out to share your story with us on the Goliaths in your life and how you able to combat those Goliath and what are you doing to face them in it's a telling us the process that's going on in your life. So I really greatly appreciate that.
Well, thank you for even doing this with us and giving us the opportunity to do that because it's really
Oh,
needed, people.
you work, and that's the whole goal of these motivational chat is to come and motivate one another. Not just me, but people can motivate me by their testimony or whatever they have to say. That would motivate me as well. So it's not like one sided. It's a whole shebang, whole thing.
So, with you saying that, if you don't mind, what is your Goliath?
Oh, so one of the thing is I said my Goliath is myself. At times I can, procrastinate on things. I know this about myself. I procrastinate on things. I'll talk myself out of stuff. And that be holding me back on like doing things like with starting this live, starting doing live. I was talking myself out of this, like, who gonna listen to me? Who gonna come up here and join me? And it was just talking myself out of it. And it's just me. All these things are part of me. So sometimes I'm my own Goliath. I'm my own giant in my life, and I have to be able to slay that giant that's in my life because it's me. I have control. I have authority over my own self, God given authority that God given me, and I should be able to talk to myself and speak to life into myself to cast those things that's not of God or that's not beneficial to me and make it better. So my Goliath sometimes is myself.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
That's
Well, since I pretty much finished talking about this, so I thank you again for joining me, and for anybody out there that's listening or catching the replay, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Okay, we have somebody in the chat. Oh, Kyrie. Hello, Kyrie. How are you doing? She said procrastination is her weakness too. Yes. I don't know why, like, and I was talking to my sister. I'm like, and just to be honest, about probably about an hour ago, I was like, I don't know why I say I'm gonna start doing these motivation chats because I be, I get off work, I'll come back to a computer. I sit at a computer all day. I don't want to sit at a computer again. I be tired, sleepy. But then I like, okay, you just holding yourself back. Go ahead and do what you got to do. So yes, Kyrie, I feel you, girl. I feel you. So I thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're stumbling along. To everybody who's going to watch the replay, I thank you in advance for watching. And um, please feel free to drop a comment um, on the topic and share your thoughts and be able to motivate somebody else. Again, thank you for tuning in to Twice Be Nice. Again, I'm Saquana, and may your night be well and be blessed. Bye.